All right. So at this point, the meeting of the St. Helens School District Board is called to order. So all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
justice for all.
All right, moving on to agenda approval. Based off of the agenda we have here. Thank you very much. So is there any additional agenda approvals that any member wants to add, or do we want to approve the agenda as written?
As written.
Okay.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes
Now,
unanimously.
May I interrupt a moment?
Of course.
Sorry about that. Were we approving the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to mention something that we've been discussing in the office this morning. And so let me do that right now. We do a noticing to the community regarding our agendas in advance so that the community can know what it is the board is deliberating on. And so it is never a great idea to add an agenda item when you're already in the meeting. I recognize that and I'm acknowledging that. Here is the dilemma. There is a board policy that requires that the board pass a resolution to make the superintendent the signer for all things monetary, financial. You know, as we know, that you need to be declared by the board to be the signer and superintendent in order to make payroll, pay contracts, etc. So we have to make sure that we follow that. And I read my contract, and the very first paragraph says that I will do all the duties of an executive office. It does not mention anything in particular, but says all the duties of an executive office. But board policy requires that we have the board agree to me being the signer. So I feel the board, in all transparency, needs to add that as an agenda item once my contract is approved, so that you have a very specific board motion that we can have in the board official minutes that say the board agrees that I am a signer. And I feel really strongly about that.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that last time, but I think we better do it this time. And we're moving it from Stockwell to me. So I would like that added. It's nothing for fancy, but it is formal. And all you do is you would advance that resolution.
So we do have one signatory. We've always had two, so it wouldn't stop us. But I agree that it's always done by resolution, has been forever. So maybe what we can do right now while we're on agenda items is I move that we amend our agenda.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We will go ahead and add to the agenda approval.
No. Now we have to.
At this.
Just listen, we're guiding you, bud.
Got it.
I move that we add the resolution to make Dr. Karen Gray the official signatory, one of our signatories for the St. Helens School District.
Second.
Right. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Very good. That's the right way.
So did we need to label that though 3.3 as an action item?
It's not a bad idea, yes.
Very good idea, because then we have it in the record.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as chair, I know that there are going to be some things that end up being added to the last minute. But as long as we're transparent about it, from what I understand on our obligations as the board, as long as we make sure that it is part of the agenda, that the public knows about it, that we have the recording in place, that we can end up adding and subtracting from the agenda. We just don't like to be surprised, because the circumstances usually surrounding like surprises is where we don't know what's coming. And if we don't know what's coming, we can't research ahead of time. We can end up getting opinions from people that are in the know to be able to get expertise necessary to form a valid opinion. So to that end, I just wanted to end up making it clear that the agenda approval is for these sort of things in case they come up. And since this
100%.
is one of those things that is things that we have already done, this is something that is part of the routine that we've had before with prior superintendents. I consider this kind of
Housekeeping.
housekeeping more than
It
anything.
is housekeeping.
Yes.
Exactly. So to that end, does any member have a motion to add to the agenda, or do we want to approve the current agenda as written?
We already moved to add to the agenda, and we already moved to what to put on the agenda.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything else that we want to be able to add to it? All right.
Definitely not.
All right, perfect.
So I move that we approve the agenda as amended,
Yes.
adding 3.3.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, Matthew. Now we've done all of the little dots and crosses. I think we're good.
Perfect. I prefer it that way. All right.
Yes.
So action items to 3.1, to rescind the January 30th, 2025 action to approve the contract for acting superintendent because it wasn't properly posted at the time. And that, to be clear for the public, that was just an error. There's no hidden agenda or anything like that. Somebody just ended up messing up somewhere in the lines of being able to make sure that the public was timely informed as part of it. So we're just trying to be able to.
The computer just didn't process the request.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to rescind the old one and then approve the new one. All right.
I move that we accept action item 3.1.
Moved.
Okay.
Okay, seconded. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 3.1 passes. Moving on to 3.2, approval of the contract for the acting superintendent. Redo number 2. Do I hear a motion for being able to approve 3.2 as written?
I move to approve.
I second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, 3.2 is approved. And the new 3.3, to be able to.
Does Christy need to go grab a copy of that resolution, or can we just approve it as our standard resolution?
I think it's fiscal responsibility to the superintendent, Karen Gray.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hold on for a moment.
Where did Matthew go?
I went to the land of lights being not used, deciding to shut off on me because I wasn't moving fast enough.
You have to wave your hands every once in a while to keep
Exactly.
the lights on.
All right. Well, then I move that we accept action item 3.3.
Can I amend
Okay.
it slightly just to add the word acting superintendent, Karen Gray?
Okay. Motion to amend to say acting superintendent Karen Gray.
No, it's just within the same motion. So I'm still making the motion. She's seconding. You can call for the vote.
Okay. All right. All right then. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion
Thank you.
passes then.
You're
All right.
official.
So on to 4.0 upcoming meeting. Our next meeting is tentatively on the 5th, but based off of what we were hearing about potential conditions having to do with snow and the like, this may end up being rescheduled for another time. We will do our best in order to be able to get that advanced to the public as fast as possible, if and when we do need to end up changing the meeting time for that point. We will do our due diligence in order to make sure that it's at least 24 hours in advance if we do have to reschedule. But it's currently a tentative date. It may end up changing in the future.
Scheduling snow 24 hours in advance is a risk.
Exactly.
That usually means it won't happen if you do that.
Anyway,
Well, in that case. No. So I just wanted to end up letting people know. Is there any additional business that needs to be handled by the board at this point?
Don't think so.
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Move to adjourn and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you,
unanimous.
guys. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.